Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone out there today? Good to see everyone. Oh, wow. Lots of people watching. Oh, the geeks must be here. That's why. See, you can always tell whenever they show up, they bring all their entourage with them. Hey, should be absolutely fun. I'm looking forward to this one. I always look forward to these because I always learn so much. And I think it's a pretty good topic and a cool topic. And before I do that, though, let's go ahead and get the geeks on. Hey, Chris, Jim, say hey to everybody.
Hello, Michael. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, we got geeksontour.com. If you don't know who they are, you should. You should, especially if you got Google Photos questions. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yep, that is my specialty.
But one of your best ones, and not just Google Photos though. I like, what does this button do? That's one of my favorites because how many times do we actually get asked that? You know, being the geek in the family, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what does this button do?
What does this button do? Yeah. Yeah, it was when we came up with that title that we knew that it was something we were going to do, because that was just, yeah, what does this button do?
That's
and we can cover any topic we want.
That's right. That's
keep
right.
it at kind of a basic level, you know.
Love that. I love that. Seriously, it's one of my favorites as far as that goes. Not to say that Google Photos isn't one of my favorites as well, but I like the versatility and some of the things you come up with, like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. But anyway, yes, and I put it up there. Your YouTube is at Geeks on Tour. Somebody go subscribe out there. 2 people, please go out there and subscribe to their channel. Right? Isn't that what you want?
Because we're at 9,998 subscribers right now.
But make sure you don't go over there and click the button and unsubscribe. That would not be good. So if you do want to unsubscribe, hit it twice.
Yes, for sure. Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. That's hilarious. No, you're so close. So I hope hopefully somebody goes over there and subscribes, even if it's with another account. Use all your accounts, sign in with it, right? Let's get that number up. But yeah, today's topic, let's talk about it. Okay, so does Google Photos play fair with other apps? This is an awesome subject because not always, right, Chris? Help us out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not always. But, okay. Now, this was your question, right? You said, and I put a little slideshow together and I covered a bunch of stuff, but I think maybe it's better to just jump right in. Isn't the number one question how to post from Google Photos to Facebook?
Probably. Most people want to know that. They're like, oh my goodness, please. That and sometimes, and also taking things off of certain apps like Slack or chat or some of those things too. It's some of that too. Sometimes those apps, you wish it was coordinated with Google Photos too. Reverse. And I'm not trying to get into that subject, but I mean, that's usually the second things that I get asked. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Is how to something that was attached to an email and you
right, exactly.
Oh,
I know those are probably the 2 most common questions, because you said, is this the biggest one that gets asked? Those 2 things are the things that I get asked all the time when it comes to Google Photos. But anyway, let's stick on subject.
Well, no, I'll deal with that one first because it's actually fairly easy. First of all, if it's in a Gmail, man, it's so easy. I'm going to show my computer screen and go to Gmail. And okay, here's the problem finding a photo. I think I have. Well, darn. Yeah.
Oh, Richard, I have to put this up. Richard sent a super chat because it will be a great show with the geeks on it. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you. That's awesome.
Okay.
Anyway.
So I'm looking. So here is a email with some images. Oh, they're my images. So that's oh, well, images about
that's all right.
Okay, but let's say that this is actually somebody's photo and I want to get it out of my email and into my Google Photos. in Gmail, if this is an attachment in Gmail, there's a little button right there.
That is awesome. Love
just save to photos.
Love that.
As soon as you just hover over the image, it comes up with save to photos. Now, if you're using something like Slack, I don't know, but then the issue is just detach it from the email. How do you detach it from the email or the message? You download it to whatever device you're on, either download to your phone or download to your computer. Then you have to upload it to Google Photos. So that's
a couple extra steps, but
easy. Yeah.
I think that's what Murray put that out there too. He has a question up there. Is there an easy way to sync Google Photos with a hard drive on a PC or a Mac? I don't know. Not to sync. No, I don't think syncing is a possibility. But again, like I said, I thought, oh, here you go. Here's Ron. Save photos from WhatsApp to Google Photos. See?
Okay. From WhatsApp, same thing. You have to just open the photo that's in the WhatsApp message, either long press or 3 dots, somewhere in there, there is a download. And as soon as it's downloaded to your phone, then Google Photos sees it and will pick it up and upload it.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. I just know that gets asked sometimes. But I mean, so that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I know that's not directly what we're talking about today or whatever is, but it is apps. It is related to apps. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. So.
Okay.
Oh, I like this. John Brown says, is there a simple explanation of picture format? When I shoot with my Pixel phone in landscape format, when I go back to view it photos, the orientation doesn't match. Is it just me?
You mean it's horizontal when it should be vertical? It's just, usually it's just that you're holding your phone just a little bit off, cockeyed, a little bit off. Yeah. And it thinks it's oriented one way.
I got you.
But you can rotate. You can rotate in Google Photos, no problem. Gotcha. Edit, crop, rotate.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's get into some fun stuff, huh?
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to Facebook and just explain that issue.
Yeah, do it. That'd be great.
That sounded like the first question that you had listed. So the issue is, let me go to the slide first. So does Google Photos play nice with other apps? I do know Google Photos. I wrote a book and I am a diamond level product expert.
Love the book too. Very helpful.
And so posting to Facebook. So from Google Photos to Facebook. And I have a tip on this in our list of tips. I'll show you that in a moment. But if the photo is on the device, so if you're using your phone, you go to Facebook, the photo you want is on your device, then you're golden. If not, then you can't start in Facebook. You have to start in Google Photos.
Oh, I see.
And share to Facebook. So let me show you that.
Are you talking about mobile or computer or both?
I'm talking about mobile for right now.
Okay, for right now, mobile. Yeah, that's fine.
Mobile first.
Checking. Yep.
Mobile first. So in Facebook, if you say, I want to add a photo, your only choice is the photos that are on your device. Now, there is this one little drop-down arrow that will allow you to go to different folders on your device, but they still must be on your device. The bulk of your Google Photos are in the cloud. So you just can't do it. If instead you go to your Google Photos and you find the photo that you want. So, and I'm going to go back a few years just to make it very clear that this photo is not on the device. And here's a picture of Jim at the beach. And you tap share. Now you don't share with a person, you want to share to an app. Facebook is the app I'm talking about. So you say share to Facebook,
Gotcha.
and then I'm going to share to a group, and just a private group, because this is, my friends would say, huh?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
So,
Do you okay on that? This is interesting. If you have different accounts on Facebook, do you choose which account there too as well, or no? Or is it just send it to whatever one you have signed in?
you have different accounts on Facebook, different profiles? I didn't think that was possible. You can have different groups and different pages.
Oh,
but
that's
you
what I
only
mean.
have
That's what I
one
mean.
profile.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you want to send it.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
that's what you're doing.
So if I go back up, instead of, well, now I lost it. Okay.
I'm only asking only because I know people ask these questions.
All right. So I have a photo. I tapped share. I'm starting in Google Photos.
Right.
I go to news feed, and up at the top here, it says share to feed. No, I can share to a page group.
Got it.
Or on a friend's timeline.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
I said, now this is on Android. I'm not at all sure that that's an option on the iPhone. I'd have to look, but I have a private group, and I can just say tinkering and post it. Now, if I go to Facebook, I will see that's posted. That photo has posted. And as long as you're on a mobile device, I could have selected 3, 4, 5 photos, and they would have all 4 or 5 of them would have appeared on the Facebook post. Now, if instead you're doing this from a computer, it puts all of those into an album, and it just puts the link to the album in the Facebook.
Right.
So it's a little bit different there.
Nice. Gotcha.
But then, so back over here. And so if the photo is on your if you're on a computer and the photo's on your hard drive, you're good. You can stay in Facebook, say, post a photo. It takes you to your computer's hard drive. You can find any photos and go. But if not, you need to start in Google Photos, find the photo you want, and share. If it's more than one, it makes it into an album and gives you a link. Or, and here's my favorite little tip about this, and it works in lots of apps. So let me go to Google Photos and find a picture that I want to share. This rooster. This was in the parking lot of a Cracker Barrel. They had all these chickens and roosters running around. I thought it was pretty. I took a picture. Okay.
I love that.
Now, if I just click share and go to I can do that. But if I select multiple pictures, then it makes this album. I can also right-click, copy image, go to Facebook, and start a post.
Yeah, and then add it that way. Paste it in.
Right-click, right where you would type. Instead of typing, right-click and paste.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I can go back to Google Photos and pick another photo.
As long as you pick them one at a time, right?
One at a time. This has to be done one at a time. Right-click, copy image, go to Facebook, right-click, and paste. Okay, or how about Control V? Oh, come on.
You have to be somewhere where you can be typing.
Yeah.
Oh, up in the typing section at the top?
Add to your post. No.
I think you had...
I did this. See, that's why I wanted to do the video. I
understand.
There we go. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, my cursor was just in the wrong place. Okay, so now I have 2 pictures and I could post that if I want. And I could continue that process for several different. That also works on Twitter, so if you go to Twitter and you want to add a photo,
Same process.
You click on this little photos
I see.
and you're only going to get your hard drive.
Okay.
But if you just click where you would type and paste
it. Got it.
Same thing with Google Chat. I don't see in Google Chat, I can just upload from the computer or I can add from Google Drive, but I can also paste.
Just paste. Yep.
So, and that, do you remember? I mean, I only learned that because of him. I said, God, this is just such a pain. I want to be able to just easily get a photo into Facebook from Google Photos. And he said,
I just right click, copy, go over to Facebook and start one paste.
And I said, you can do that?
You're not going to get a good high resolution picture, but it's Facebook. Who cares? I mean, at this point, you already have the good original.
One thing that I do as well, just to add to that, if I do want multiple pictures, one thing I do is I copy like the 3 pictures, like I do Control-C with one picture, then do another Control-C with the next picture and do another Control-C with the 3rd picture. Then when I'm in the text, I go to Windows V, and then I can choose which ones to pick and pick them individually and put them in that way. That's how I get around.
That's from the clipbook.
Excellent. Yes.
Yep.
But you have to have that turned on too.
And you have to know about it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. That is
multiple copies in your clipboard, then you can paste. Excellent.
Yep, it is. All right, I got a bunch of questions out here. Let me go. I starred them all, so let me just put them up as they came in. How's that? Let's do this one. How about, since you cannot sync Google Photos, what is the easiest way to back up all of your Google Photos to a hard drive? I think I know the answer to that because you had I think it's video 214, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 574. You're talking
is
about.
it? Okay, see, and you create an album for that month?
Right. There is no easy way. What Google will tell you is to go to their system called Takeout. But it's just a mess. I keep waiting for it to get cleaned up a little bit, and then I'll start teaching it. I think it's still just a mess. But you can, with one click, get all of your pictures on your hard drive from Takeout using it with Google Photos. But it's a mess. Yeah. What I do is I make albums. You can make an album for the whole year, and then you download that year. I do it every month, and I just have selected pictures. I don't want to have my entire library of Google Photos on my hard drive. My hard drive would get full so fast.
Best video out there. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It says, I have some apps you can right click and select copy. Yep, there is that sometimes. All right. He also says, Murray says, I do have 2 Facebook accounts with different emails, etc., associated with them. One I only use for my genealogy groups, and other I strictly use for close family.
Well, then you probably already know how to log out of one and log into another, and you would you would need to do that to be in the right one.
Roxanne says, if you have more than one group to share, is there a way to choose them all at once instead of going in one at a time for the groups? And I'm sure that's on Facebook still, but yes.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, got it. I copy and paste to Google Chat from Google Photos all the time. There you go.
Yeah, it's really so easy. You do need to be aware that you're getting a very low resolution picture that way, but who cares? It's good enough for a phone or a computer.
Kind of off of the Google Photos end of it, but what about adding a Google Doc? Junior says?
I do the same thing. I copy and paste just because I just do copy and paste all day, every day. But in a Google Doc, you can insert photo, and as long as you're logged in to the same Google account as your photos are, then all of your Google Photos are available to you in Google Docs.
Gotcha. Carla says, can I do the opposite? Right click on a photo in Facebook and save it to Google Photos?
Absolutely.
Mobile and computer, right?
Yeah. Well, you can right click and save, which means downloading to whatever device you're on, either the computer, you can't send it. You can't send it straight to Google Photos, but you save to the device and then upload to Google Photos. Yes.
Gotcha. Does that, so you still have to go through the manual process there, etc. Can you control C? How would you copy? Would you copy from Facebook? Okay. Right click and copy.
Yeah. Right click and copy. So, right click and copy and copy image. No, I would want to save image. Save image to whatever device. On the phone, it would be a long press on a picture.
Gotcha.
And I do that regularly. Yeah, long press and then save photo.
Does iPhone work the same way on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the iPhone long press
and save photo.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Save photo. Then where is that saved? It's just saved in your camera roll.
Gallery.
Google Photos will see it and upload it on the phone.
From your iPhone, it will?
Sure.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know. So anything goes into your gallery that goes into your iPhoto. I mean, it usually goes into iPhotos, right? Isn't that what they call it?
I say that it goes into your camera roll. I think that makes it clear, because
that is much clearer.
Yeah, it goes into your camera roll, and your Apple Photos sees it, and your Google Photos sees it.
Oh, okay.
In the camera roll.
What if your Google Photos doesn't see it? Where's that setting? Don't you have to set that up, or does it automatically see everything on your device?
That's in the backup and sync. I think what you're thinking about,
Android or Apple,
is Android. Android has separate folders where photos go.
Okay.
For different
That's
apps.
Probably what I'm thinking. I do have both devices, but I get confused all the time which does what. So that's why I was asking. And I know a lot of people have iPhones, so a lot of times people ask me. So that's why I wanted to ask, where do you set that so it automatically, anytime you enter it into your, I think they call it, is it gallery or iPhotos or whatever? I don't know.
I call it Apple Photo. They just call it Photos.
Oh, okay.
But it's Photos that's by Apple. So I call it Apple Photos to distinguish it from Google Photos. But that exact question, I do have a slide on. What was the question?
Where it automatically brings your photos into Google Photos as soon as you upload it or bring it in.
Right. Just what's the differences? So, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the slide I wanted to show. So the differences, there are actually 3 different Google Photos: the web version of Google Photos, the Android app for Google Photos, and the iOS app. And there's a few little differences. The web version of Google Photos has limited editing features. There's lots more editing that can be done on the phone, either Android or iOS. The web does not have the map view, one of my favorite features of Google Photos.
Oh, I know.
The Android has device folders. iPhone does not. All photos are in one place. So if you're having Google Photos back up, then it's backing up any photo that is saved to your device on iPhone. Whereas Android, you have to specify. Android has the markup, text on photos. The iOS version of Google Photos does not have that. And Android has document crop, and iOS does not have slideshow. So, a few differences there. But that device folders does get sticky with people who are used to Android, and that just doesn't exist in iOS. Right.
So on topic, does Google Photos play fair with other apps? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, I want to, one of the last questions you asked to me to cover is, okay, so you took a photo. How do you put it onto your website?
Yes.
And here
absolutely.
I have one slide that I'd like to just show for that.
Sure.
Well, obviously, it depends on what system you have for your website. And it used to be that no, you had to download from Google Photos to your computer in order to upload them to the website.
It was the only way.
But Google Photos does have an API, a programming interface that will make your Google Photos, all the photos in the Google Cloud, available to your system if that system has chosen to implement it. So that's why people say, why does Google Photos not allow Facebook to see my Google Photos? I don't think it's Google Photos. It's Facebook.
Yeah.
It's Facebook that hasn't implemented it. So, for example, if you use Blogger for your website, Blogger is by Google. So when you click Insert Image, you have the option to get your image from your Google Photos. Or you can copy and paste the same way we showed with Facebook. WordPress also has a connection. The first time you ask WordPress to get photos from Google Photos, you will have to authenticate over to Google Photos. You'll have to connect WordPress to your Google Photos account. But from then on, you can just get your photos. Canva is another one that can get photos straight from Google Photos. So it's getting to be more and more and more that they have implemented.
Yeah. I like that though.
And look at this. I want to show you one more thing on the iPhone.
Okay.
So iPhone text messaging, just this green bubble, messages. A lot of people maybe have not noticed that is because here is this first icon here is how you would get a photo that is in your camera roll. That's Apple Photos. Or you can take a picture and put it in a text message. But look at this. As you scroll over, there's Google Photos.
Oh, there you go.
So if you're using Google Photos on this iPhone, you can get a picture from Google Photos and put it in your text message.
Excellent. Let's see. We have a next. Oh, go ahead. No.
It plays well with apps more so all the time.
Yeah, like it's gradually growing too. I mean, more people are getting excited about it, I think, too. And why is Google Photos different on Apple and Samsung? I mean,
because they're different languages. Yeah. You know, I mean, I can't answer that question really specifically because I'm not a programmer, but I do know that if I have to say something in Italian, it's going to not be exactly the same as when I say it in English. And that's kind of what programmers have to deal with. Apple is different operating system, different technology for the programmers to work with.
And exactly. No, that's a great example too. I mean, that's a perfect example. Being bilingual in another language, I can attest to that. And that's because some things don't always translate either.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, like even though we both understand that this is it, but it's not necessarily the exact same translations. So,
right. Yeah. They can't just say, oh, we built it for Android.
Yeah.
Now just put it on the iPhone. No, most of it has to be rewritten.
And Apple has their own processes for security.
Correct.
And they may not allow certain things.
Correct. That's a great point too. I mean, like they might have the plus sign to add something at the bottom right corner on every program they use, whereas whatever the Samsung doesn't do that, or they have a different way of doing that. So they want to make consistency in a lot of their products. So when they're answering questions about those products, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that's the way it is. All I'm saying is I think a lot of times that's why they do that. They want it to be about them and their product and how close it is to that. So Murray says, what about photo editor software such as GIMP, free, open source, powerful, all platforms, or Photoshop Elements?
Well, I don't use either of those, but I think Photoshop Elements does use the Google Photos API, and that you can just go get straight from Google. I think. I'm not at all positive with that.
I think they can.
But I think so. And you can always download from Google Photos and upload to whatever you're using. Yep. And then there's Snapseed or other. Yeah, let me show on the Android here.
Yeah, I think, hold on, I'm going to find it if I can, but.
In Google Photos on the Android, if you go into Edit and then scroll way over to More, all the way over to More, here are all the other apps I have on my phone that I could use to edit this photo.
That's awesome.
Pixlr, PixArt, Snapseed, Gallery. If I open in Photos, and this is Amazon Photos.
Yeah, Richard said a while ago, he said, Google Photos plays well with Snapseed. I know some apps don't, don't allow you to upload.
Both made by Google.
Yeah.
Owned by Google.
Yeah. Or owned, yeah.
Okay. So.
That's awesome. Good stuff. All right. Let's see what Bill says. John, apparently my Chromebook kind of. Oh, he's talking about the. He got it. And then Bob says, reboot, reload. All right. If there's any last minute questions, we will. One thing that we do with our community is we it paid for members. If you want to become a member, right down here, there's a join button, probably where you're watching. Come join our community. You can join at any level, and anything in the middle level and above, you can come in the Backstage Pass, because we will be in the Backstage Pass chatting with you guys a little further. Oh, if it's for me, tell them I said hey. No, it's all good. But
I'm not me.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. But we want you to, I'd love for you to join. Come check it out. I know the Geeks are also members in that community as well. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time with that community. Very, very collaborative community for sure. I mean, in my opinion, it is. But anyway, so we would love to have you come join us. And also anybody that is a member, we will be opening up the Backstage Pass so you can come in and join us in the Backstage Pass. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day, especially Jim with a brand new hip. You're a hipster. You're a hipster.
He's a hipster.
I'm an old hippie getting new parts.
That's right. That's right. Propeller head and a hipster. So I like that. That's awesome.
Thanks, Michael.
Oh, of course. No,
He's doing really good.
Yeah,
good doctors.
Love
I have a good coach here as my nurse.
There you go. There you go. But I do appreciate it. Chris, you're very knowledgeable, and I appreciate you as well, especially when it comes to Google Photos and having written a book. I know that's a time-taking, very long process and all that kind of stuff and doing that kind of stuff. And I really do appreciate you coming on, though, and talking to this group, and hopefully get some other people and new people that maybe can learn some stuff as well. Don't forget geeksontour.com. I'll put that up there. Go ahead, Chris. You want to say?
Oh, can I just do kind of one little wrap up slide?
Yes.
Because one question
100%.
You asked in previously was, is Google Photos better than the Apple Photos or the Gallery? And I just, well, what is it that we want these programs to do? We want them to be a total photo management.
Yep.
Gallery means to be able to view, edit, create, and organize photos on your phone. That's a purpose of photo management, is to manage photos on your phone. Then another thing we want these programs to do is to keep our photos safe, even if we lose our phone. So that's cloud backup. And then thirdly, we want cross-platform tools to view, organize, edit, create, and share all of our photos on any device or computer. Only does number one.
Oh, wow.
It will view, edit, create. It does a great job. It has some editing tools that are really pretty cool, but that's all it does is number one. It does partner with Microsoft OneDrive to do number two, but just on its own, it only does one. Apple Photos only does one, but then you have iCloud. If you turn the iCloud on, that does two. So it does one and two. Only Google Photos does all three. So that, and if you ever think you might have an Android in your mix of devices, it's worth it to use Google Photos. It does all three.
Awesome. I like that.
Richard says he's a Smurf. I never thought, I thought he wasn't quite blue.
That is a name they gave themselves for the highest paid members. They're called Smurf only because they're super mega ultimate righteous fans. So, and thank you again, Richard, for your donation earlier. I appreciate that. And thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all. We're going to go ahead and head on out of here. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys in the backstage pass. Bye, y'all. There they are, Geeks on Tour.